guys, how are you doing? This is Sean Bryant, and I'm going to take you through how to tackle basic head construction. So what we're going to do is start with an oval shape and cut that in half. And that's going to be where our nose is going to be. And then below that, cut that in half again. That's where our mouth will be. Above that line, cut that in half, and that's where our eyebrows are going to start. So let's just throw in a really basic view of that. So it's going to be eyes, nose, mouth, and then between the eyebrows and the nose, we're going to pop the ears in. And below that, it's going to be the neck and collar. And voila, you've made the most beautiful face in the world. So actually what we can do is take this and create more complex shapes on top of it. So I'm going to start to loosely sketch on top of this template and not really try to be too tied down to what I've already put down, and just use it as a foundation for what I'm designing. You can see my lines are really loose and free, and I'm moving throughout the drawing and trying not to get too bogged down into one area. I try to draw sculpturally, where I lay down a lot of loose lines and gestural work, and then I'll carve back into it and try not to draw perfectly the first time. I find if I do that, I get so bogged down in trying to make the lines perfect and each stroke matter that I end up being paralyzed by the fear of it not being right. So that blank page ends up scaring me, and I don't end up creating anything. So drawing sculpturally and thinking about it that way has really helped me push past that initial fear of drawing. So you can go crazy with it and create a ton of different designs using this template as a foundation. But I find after a while, if you use the same proportions over and over and over again, it can get stale. So let me show you how you can take that template idea and extrapolate it out using basic shapes and create a huge variety of characters. So I started off with a simple circle, square, and triangle, and then I've pushed and pulled the circle, square, and triangle to create the next two rows of character templates. So we're going to try to take that idea of being loose, gestural, and sculptural with our drawings and apply that to this design style too. We're not trying to take this too seriously. This is just an exercise, and seeing how we can apply facial features to abstract shapes. Try to look at the shape and prescribe a feeling or emotion to it, and that can help you create a design. This square shape reminded me of a square-jawed general type character, so that's what kind of led my design. This triangular shape brings up an interesting design point, is you don't have to design the character to exactly fit within the shape. You can start carving into it and use more of a gestalt design style where you're creating the impression of the shape without it actually being in the final design. As these shapes get more pushed, you're going to have to figure out how to apply the human features to it in a reasonable and understandable way. What can help would be to draw a human skull inside of that shape and try to push the skull around inside the shape to figure out exactly how it would fill the mass in a logical way. And then you can apply the features on top of that, breaking it down even more. When you're creating these, try to keep an eye out for areas where you can create contrast and tension in your design. In this design in the middle, I really tried to pinch the eyes and the nose together to really push it pretty far off of that original design template. And then towards his mouth, I really tried to stretch that down and really pull it farther away, giving your eyes an area to rest and flow throughout that design. This is a really fun exercise because it helps you push beyond the bounds and get you out of that rut where you're designing the same thing over and over and over again. If you create pages and pages of these crazy different silhouettes, you can start to come into your own design style. If you find ones that appeal to you, you'll tend to use those more and more in your regular design work. So these will both be great exercises for you guys to practice to learn basic head construction and shape variation. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I was super nervous doing these, but hopefully as I do more, I will get better at it. I'll leave a link below for a template for you guys to practice with, and like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.